Yeah, very uncharacteristic. I think that you've got to give credit to those guys over there. They were aggressive in the zone, and when we were just missing off with balls, they were taking them. They were, as we call it, keeping the line moving, and they got the big hits when they needed.
Sergio Romo had never been given a balk before in his entire career. Your thought about that call, and if you think that just kind of seemed to play into everything else that happened?
It didn't help the situation, obviously, with that inning where it was still a tie game, but I didn't see the actual. I was looking at something else, and I asked Rick to see if I should not challenge it, but question it, and it was a blatant balk. So, Sergio's going to be fine, but, left some sliders out over the plate, one to Tomas that broke the game open, and a couple walks, but hit off the bat of Goldschmidt. Oakland comes in, gives up 2 walks, so yeah, very uncharacteristic.
How quickly will you turn the page after one like this? How long does this type of game, the way that it unfolded towards the end, stay with you?
I think you've got to, to get beat like this is always tough. But I think for us, we've got to turn the page quickly. We've got Kenta going tomorrow, and a bullpen that I didn't expect to use a majority of the guys tonight. But when their usage in that game starts to escalate, then I want to get them out of there and not bury them for the night. But it's going to come down to Kenta going out there and setting the tone and pitching well.
I know a lot of stuff went wrong after the beginning of the 8th, but just can you take us through the thought process of sending Ross back out for another inning? Just wanted to see what excited him again, I guess.
Well, it was 1 inning, and who else did you have in mind to send out there?
I'm just curious.
Ross, obviously, it was 1 inning, and we don't have a dedicated 8th inning guy. There was righty, lefty, righty, and so Ross actually has shown to get lefties out better than right-handers. So, for him to go back out there for me, I didn't worry about the matchups. And once he gives up the leadoff double and then the base hit to Peralta, then you have to make moves to get matchups, and they chose to use 3 players to get Iannetta up there, and I still like Avalon versus Iannetta, but he got the walk, and then another matchup I like with Descalso when he walked him.
Apart from the leadoff home run from Pollock against Wood, he seemed to have a decent outing. What did you see from Alex tonight?
Alex was fine. I thought he pitched well. I thought he threw the ball well. I thought his stuff was good, and tried to get him through that 5th inning. And I thought up to that point it was a pretty good ball game. Here it's a very offensive ballpark. But I thought the way that Alex was throwing the baseball, he deserved the opportunity to go out there for the 5th inning. And so after that, we responded. Toles had a big hit, and we ultimately had a lead in the game. So I like where we were at.
What's an inning feel like that? Does it feel like down dugout? Does it feel like things are snowballing on you? You can't get them stopped?
It's sometimes outs come pretty easy, and other times you just can't stop the bleeding. So those guys comfortable in the box, and they were aggressive in the strike zone. And when you add free passes and balks and things like that to get free bases, then that's sort of what happens.
When it's everybody like that, I know they've been good, but does it speak to something else, the conditions, the strike zone? Does it feel like when everybody's going like that, something else?
Yeah, it's just one of those nights where those guys are seeing the ball well in that 8th inning. So our guys up until tonight have been very good. So like we talked about earlier, we're going to turn the page and try to win again tomorrow.